It all began with a yellow post-it note on my bathroom mirror. The handwriting was mine, but the message, a grocery list, made no sense. I already had everything listed. I shrugged it off, thinking I'd written it half asleep. Days later, another note appeared on my laptop. Call Mom. But I'd just spoken to her. The unease grew. I started finding more notes. Reminders for things I'd already done. Cryptic words like again on my orange juice. Was I sleepwalking? Stressed? I tried to rationalize, but the dread grew. The notes became more personal, more invasive. The breaking point, a note on my pillow describing a dream I'd had, one I'd told no one about. My heart pounded. The handwriting was mine, but I knew I hadn't written it. I felt watched, invaded in my own home. The yellow squares weren't reminders anymore, they were evidence of something I couldn't explain. I started questioning my own memory, my sanity. Each new note chipped away at my sense of safety. The feeling of being observed became suffocating. I was no longer alone in my own apartment. The notes felt like messages from a stranger who knew me intimately. I tossed and turned at night, replaying every detail. The puzzle pieces didn't fit and the fear was growing. I tried to ignore it, but the notes kept coming. My home was turning into a maze of yellow warnings. I was losing control. The invasion was real even if I couldn't see it. I started to dread coming home. The yellow squares haunted me. I needed answers. Something was terribly wrong, and I was running out of explanations. My apartment, once a sanctuary, became a cage. Every sound made me jump. I started double and triple checking the locks. I wedged a chair under the doorknob at night, desperate for security. The idea of an intruder became an obsession. I changed the locks, but the notes kept coming. I searched every corner but found nothing. The fear was constant, heavy. I withdrew from friends, unable to explain my paranoia. The silence in my apartment was suffocating. I was a prisoner, haunted by my own handwriting. Someone, or something, knew my every move. Desperate, I turned to Reddit's r/unresolved mysteries. I posted my story, the notes, the paranoia, the sense of being watched. The response was immediate. Hundreds of comments, theories, and advice. Some thought it was a stalker, others suggested the supernatural. A few questioned my mental health, but one suggestion kept coming up. Get a camera, hide it, record everything. It was so obvious I wondered why I hadn't thought of it. A camera would be an impartial witness. For the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of hope. I had a plan. I would catch my phantom on film. I wasn't powerless anymore. I was ready for answers. I bought a tiny webcam and hid it in my living room, aimed at the front door. That night I set it to record and went to bed, anxious but hopeful. The next day I rushed home, eager to check the footage. My heart dropped. The video files were gone, completely erased. Someone had found the camera, accessed my laptop, and deleted everything. This was no ordinary intruder. They were always one step ahead, inside my head as much as my home. I updated Reddit. The footage is gone. They deleted it. The fear deepened. I wasn't just being watched. I was being outsmarted. The phantom was real and it was everywhere. I was losing control. My update sent Reddit into a frenzy. Theories spiraled. Hacker, stalker, someone close to me. Then a single comment stood out. Have you checked for carbon monoxide leaks? Memory loss, paranoia, hallucinations, classic symptoms. The idea seemed absurd, but it nagged at me. What if the threat wasn't a person, but something in the air? I read the comment again and again. Could a gas leak explain everything? It was a long shot, but I had nothing left to lose. I decided to check my carbon monoxide detector. The possibility was terrifying, but it made a strange kind of sense. Maybe the phantom wasn't human at all. Maybe it was something I was breathing. I had to find out. I rushed to my carbon monoxide detector and pressed the test button. The alarm shrieked, the display flashed, 120. I googled safe levels. Anything over 70 was dangerous. My apartment was filled with poison. I threw open the windows, grabbed my keys, and ran outside. The alarm screamed behind me as I gasped for air on the sidewalk. The truth hit me. The intruder was the air itself. I called the fire department. They found a faulty water heater leaking deadly gas. My paranoia, memory loss, and confusion were all symptoms. I wasn't being haunted, I was being poisoned. Relief and terror washed over me. I had come so close to never waking up. The real danger had been invisible all along. I was finally safe. The nightmare made sense at last. I'd written the notes myself, lost in confusion. I deleted the footage, not knowing what I was doing. The Reddit community and one stranger's comment had saved my life. I updated my post, sharing the truth. My story became a warning for others. Months later, a woman messaged me. My story had saved her brother too. The terror I'd endured became a lifeline for someone else. A community of strangers had pulled me back from the brink. My haunting had a purpose. I found peace in knowing my experience mattered. Sometimes the scariest mysteries have the simplest answers, and sometimes sharing your story can save a life.